Who needs Batman when you have such a handsome clone like this guy right here?
I I wonder who that handsome man in the mask was. And what was with that cat? Well, I guess Catman, no wait, Catwoman and Batman.
I am here to destroy this wannabe Batclone.
Anyways, what an interesting concept. Or is this just plain trademark infringement?
I cannot accept this clone. It's filled with trademarked property.
I don't know. But this is yet another 4-inch vertical with the same screen we've been seeing ever since Powkiddy first put it in their RGB 28SX, whatever, way back when. And so now we have it in yet another iteration. This is sort of like the K36 Max. No, wait, that's another new one coming. Oh my God, there's so many of these. Anyways, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our content. Let's dive in and let's join Batman on his clone adventure and find out, is this clone any good? I've often wondered, what does Fido do when I'm not home? I've wondered, is my pet behaving, or are they actually doing some damage to my house? Do I need to invest in some sort of way to hold my dog accountable? You got to be kidding me. I live alone. How is there a lit cigar and beer? I better invest in this product. No, wait. I don't sell home security, and I've never seen a Chihuahua lit a cigar. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Hey, Deadheads, welcome to the channel, or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at. So we're taking a look at the S600. Now, there's also a version of this out there called the T18 Max. This reminds me of when the R43 Pro and the M18 came out. So essentially, I think they're the same, although there's some subtle differences. Now, the S600, like the T18 Max, has Batman stuff all over it. Let's take a look at the box here, and we can see that the box is pretty outlandish, but it kind of matches the whole theme here with this whole Batman thing. We first saw the R36 Max and R36 Pro used a little soccer ball theme, so it's kind of not surprising that someone would take this in a different direction. But going and building on that, it does state here on the box S600. It says Emulate and ArcOS system, which is pretty interesting. I think they're just banking on the fact that some of the developers or some of the community has ported ArcOS on a similar system using the same innards, because basically this is probably just an R36 Max in a different shell, but we're not sure about that. It does say game console. And again, looking around the side, we do have our specs: 4-inch HD screen, 3.5-inch headphone jack, Linux, 35 milliamp 100 battery, Type C rockers, and then we got the 64 gig here with the red. We do have the colorways on the side here. This box got kind of beat up. And then on the back, we do have our specs, a little bit of information about our specs and the emulators it supports. And it does support a wireless controller with the OTG. This does not have Wi-Fi built in, much like the R36 S Plus does have Wi-Fi again, so it's going to be hard to top that, but let's give this a fair chance. Opening up, we got this kind of lid box, and inside we have the bag, the same bag we've been seeing on a lot of these, so I do like that. I guess I'd rather have Wi-Fi than the bag, but it's got a bag, so let's open the bag and see what's inside of it. And let's get the console out of the way here. And inside, we do have a USB cord. No surprise there. So USB A to C. We have a very flimsy screen protector, probably not even worth using. And then we have our manual. And this is the S600 manual here. We have it in Chinese Mandarin, and then we do have it in English. And it does give you some instructions about charging and turning it on. This is sort of super basic, not a lot of information here, so I'm not sure how good or effective this will be. Looking below, and there's nothing else in here, but that's okay because, we have this nice little travel case, and we do have, even though it's not very good, a screen protector, so at least they tried. But let's get this all put back up, and let's get the handheld out and take a look at it. Hey you, did you just get that new Nintendo Switch 2? But it only comes with Joy-Cons, and you want something that's better for your Mario Kart. Well, how about this? This is the Ghoulie Kit Elves Pro 2 in the Sega Saturn style. It also comes in a black style. We want to thank our friends at Amazon.com for sending this over for us to take a look at. But let me tell you that this machine, this controller, is amazing. It works perfectly on Switch 2. It has Hall sticks, and we know Ghoulie Kit makes the best Hall sticks adapters you can get. It also comes in this really nifty, cool case, as you can see right here. Wow, what a beautiful controller we have here. You can store and play and use on PC and other systems as well. I find that this is a nice stick and a really nice D-pad. Boy, do I love the D-pad on this thing. This has really surpassed my 8-bit dough, and the vibration on this thing is perfect. Anyways, hit the link below if you'd like to pick one of these up from Amazon from yourself. Again, we want to thank Amazon for sending this over to us for a look and review, and we found that this is a great controller. All right, and make sure if you want a better, more innovative review of controllers, go check the expert, go check our friend Clef. He has all the info on all the best controllers. But this one is really good for Switch 2, and it's just really good overall. Anyways, back to the show. All right, first taking this thing out, and we're greeted with the very familiar screen. We're also greeted with the front-facing Bat logo, which has I guess that is a speaker right there up front. Yeah, it must be the speaker. And they, just like with the soccer ball thing, whatever, they put like a little echo thing, like, bats use their little echo signal. So they're really leaning in hard into this whole bat stuff here. Now, we also have a bat shape FN button and then our start and select. So this again is very much reminiscent of the R36 Max, one of the most popular videos we have on the channel. So go check it out if you haven't yet. But it's really just like that. Now, the R36 Max had those funny square little buttons, but let's test the buttons here. And these buttons are okay. They're like R36 buttons, R36S. I know this is very confusing. They are connected by the 2 points. You can see that through the plastic here. So no surprises there. But they feel good. They get good travel distance. Again, on this budget line, nothing surprising here, but I think we're well within where we would expect to be for the price they're asking for this. So this is a lot like the buttons we've seen on other units. Moving to the D-pad, and the D-pad seems good for this price point. Now, these D-pads all feel very similar, and this feels just like a D-pad you would see on the R36 Max or the R36S Plus. It feels very similar to that. Going down to the sticks, in the Switch style sticks in the same position we're used to. Nothing that different there. These are just your typical sticks we're used to seeing. Checking out these shoulder buttons, and they're a little bit loud and a little stiff. So again, I would say not quite as good as the R36S Plus. In fact, as I show you some footage here of it, comparing it with the R36S Plus, which has the built-in Wi-Fi, it's just hard to still beat that as a recommendation for this class of device at this 4-inch screen ratio with 720p 1:1 aspect ratio. But this does have the cool little Batman stuff, and if you're a huge Batman fan, even though this isn't like licensed or whatever, I think it could be really cool. Again, Batclone, we'll call it. Again, those shoulder buttons, they're just a little bit stiff for my liking. We do have an interesting back here. Taking the Butthump shape, they put a texture on it, and they have a bat symbol on the back here, which could be really fun with some stickers if you had it. But it feels nice in the hands. It's got a good, nice curve to it. I actually like this. I think this is a little bit better than the Butthumps, which has that huge crease in the middle. This is more even, And so this just feels a little better to hold. So I do like this texture on it. And then we have the back, the game console, the S600. Moving around the side, we do have our power and our reset button along with TF2 on this side. And going to the bottom, we do have our OTG along with a DC port and then a port for your headphones. And then moving to the opposite side, we have our volume up and down along with our TF1 slot. So there is 2 TF card slots on this, which is really good. And there's nothing on the top. So that concludes the ports. But again, it feels nice. It feels like you would expect for this price point. The biggest gripe I guess I have with it really are these shoulder buttons are just kind of stiff, and that's kind of just not great. But the buttons are what you would expect. The D-pad is great as for this price point, and the sticks are what you would expect as well. But let's get this thing turned on and find out. It says it has EmuElec and ArcOS, but I'm expecting probably just EmuElec, maybe just ArcOS. I don't think it's going to have both. There's not 2 different cards here, so I'm not sure why it says that. But let's boot this up and see what we have inside. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, AliExpress, and the Retroid Pocket Mini V2. We want to thank AliExpress for sending this to us. This is an amazing device. Now, we all know that Retroid had a big boo-boo with the original V1 where they kind of messed up the screen, but the new V2 comes with that big, beautiful full display screen. This is an amazing handheld. It already was great, but now it's even better. You can check my influencer page with all the coupon codes so you can get this and other great items at a discount. We love this handheld. It's so amazing. Again, we want to thank AliExpress for sponsoring our channel and for giving you Deadheads all these great discounts. Remember to hit the links down there so you can save today. Anyways, back to the show. Okay, as we boot this up, we do get the S600 and the Batman loading screen. I noticed that the power button on this thing's kind of tiny and the reset's even tinier. That could be good so you don't accidentally do it, but it's kind of weird. But as this loads in, I'm pretty sure we're going to see EmuElec. Let's see. So we have our emulation station front end, so it's hard to tell, but I didn't see any sign of ArcOS, so I'm fairly certain that this is EmuElec. Going through the menu, and yes, we have EmuElec here. Let's see what version of EmuElec we have. We have 4.7, so this is a newer version of it. We don't have any RGB, so there's no lighting on this. That's okay. And again, let's just double check and make sure that the Wi-Fi is not going to work. No Wi-Fi built in, so with the right dongle, especially on ArcOS, you can probably get Wi-Fi up and running. Looking at the collection here, there's a nice collection. As I show some gameplay footage here, there's not a lot to go in depth here. This is a Rockchip 3326 once again. We know the screen is big and beautiful. It really looks great on games like Gameboy, Game Boy Color. The 16-bit systems look really fantastic. The old 8-bit systems look great as well. And then since this is Linux, Pico is amazing on this thing as well. We do have Portmaster access. So this is a really good handheld to give to somebody that is, you know, leading wanting a bigger screen, but also wanting something a little unique. I kind of like that they went with the Batman theme. You know, aside, it's not being marketed as Batman. It doesn't say Batman, but we kind of all know what it's mimicking for that. But it's kind of nice that it has sort of this look to it and this feel and a little style to it. I like the colors. This is more of a burnt orange. It's supposed to be red, but it really looks like a burnt orange to me. But playing on this feels like you would expect it. Again, as I mentioned, the shoulder buttons are probably the only thing that irritate me just a little bit. But again, there's so many of these now. There's more of these 4-inch coming. It just seems like everybody wants to make a 4-inch vertical 720p 1:1 aspect ratio handheld. You know, previously we had the 3.5-inch 640p's. I guess this is just the new version of that we're going to have going forward. So let's talk about this. Is this worth the value proposition? What I like about it, I like the texture on the back. I like the shape of the hump. I think this is better than that more severe butt hump we see with the big middle part. So I'd like to see the manufacturers do this a little more often. This really should have had built-in Wi-Fi, especially since the retro TV, it had built-in Wi-Fi at the similar price point and did something different. So I just kind of knock it for that. It's probably made of mostly the same parts you're going to see on all these machines, because the D-pad, the buttons, the sticks, they feel pretty similar. You know, the shoulder buttons are a little bit different. It doesn't, it rattles a little bit. It doesn't feel cheap. The plastic feels okay, and it has a nice look to it overall. But I don't think the Batman theme can really save it. So I don't hate this. I like this, and I play on it. Again, this screen is just so striking. This 4-inch screen is just beautiful, and it's kind of hard to resist playing on that with the thin bezel around it. But if I had to pick just one of these, I think the R36S Plus is still the go-to handheld for this, just because of the better price point. The Powkiddy is even probably better because it has the Rock Chip 3566 if you pick that one up overall. So yeah, I say, you know, the Batclone is okay. It's not bad. It's pretty good. There's just too many others out there, and its lack of Wi-Fi kind of means that you probably should pick up one of the other versions that have built-in Wi-Fi. Anyways, guys, as always, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. If you think this is a good handheld, a terrible one, let me know more feedback on the AI content. I love that some of you guys are loving it. I know some people have quit watching. They hate it. That's okay. I do this channel first and foremost for myself, for release. This is not my full-time job or anything. I have a dedicated full-time job that I love doing. This is an outlet for me, so I do this stuff for me first and foremost, and it makes me happy. And those of you that get it and like it, I'm glad you're on board for it. But please, even if you like it, give me feedback. I want it to be better. I want to make it more fun and interesting. And so, yeah, I'm really trying to just hone in on that skill. Anyways, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones, because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Death Fred out.